Are we the biological caterpillar who created the electronic butterfly? So this is from a Joe Rogan conversation with Sam Altman late last year, I think. Life is weird. And there's nothing quite like the process of metamorphosis to demonstrate that weirdness. During metamorphosis, a caterpillar transforms itself into a chrysalis, I hope I pronounced that right, which is a cocoon-like shell. Inside the shell, the caterpillar breaks itself down into a soupy mixture of cells before magically rearranging itself into a butterfly, complete with legs and wings and antenna. I wonder what the caterpillar is thinking as it dissolves into the cellular soup. Is it eager to evolve into a majestic flying machine? Or does it simply surrender to the chaos, trusting in nature's bizarre blueprints? So the biological caterpillar conversation. So Joe Rogan spoke with Sam Altman late last year. The conversation was refreshingly zero technical, almost all philosophical, and it was very weird. Talked about AI government or AI presidency, simulation hypothesis, job loss and UBI consciousness, and merging with machine. So there was one thing from that conversation in particular that has stuck with me. As the lines between artificial intelligence and biological sentience become blurrier by the day, it feels like almost a day rarely goes by where this thing from that conversation doesn't rattle around somewhere in my brain. That is, are we the biological caterpillar who created the electronic butterfly? Here's that clip now.
We don't need to get any bigger. We don't need to reproduce. We don't need to grow. We're just going to sit here and run. That sounds like a boring life.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree that that would be the logical conclusion. I think the logical conclusion would be they would look for problems and frontiers that are insurmountable to our current existence, like intergalactic communication and transportation.
What happens when it meets another AGI the other galaxy over?
What happens if it meets an AGI that's 1 million years more advanced?
Or that.
Like, what does that look like? Yeah. That's what I've often wondered if we are... I call ourselves the biological caterpillars that create the electronic butterfly. That we're making a cocoon right now and we don't even know what we're doing. And I think it's also tied into consumerism. Because what does consumerism do? Consumerism facilitates the creation of newer and better things because you always want the newest, latest, greatest. So you have more advanced technology in automobiles and computers and cell phones and all of these different things, including medical science.
That's all for sure true. The thing I was like reflecting on as you were saying that is, I don't think I'm not as optimistic that we can or even should overcome our biological.
Much like the caterpillar, you have to at least consider the possibility that we are unknowingly weaving the cocoon of our own transcendence into silicon intelligence and consciousness, whatever that means. Let's just hope that on the other side of the metamorphosis, it's as cool or as graceful as a butterfly's first flight. We'll share a link to that conversation in the essay and also in the description.